It's also April 1st, so if you have prankster friends or family or anything, be on the lookout. Um, I don't know of any good pranks, so I heard a roommate, not a roommate, a guildmate talking about one yesterday, but I don't know what it was, something about an exploding cat or something. I was like, what? I don't know what it was. But if you know of anyone that's into that kind of stuff, today might be the day you want to pay more attention about your surroundings and stuff because I'm sure folks will be trying to take advantage of the holiday. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and I've got like a half a dozen windows open here because I'm trying out the new Chrome giveaway system to try and make sure I have everything in working order for the 50th episode thing, and it requires me to have like tons of stuff open. So let me see if I've got this sorted. I hope so. Uh, anyway, can't really do anything until I have at least a few people in the chat. But for those of you that remember me asking to come along today to try and test that, hopefully you will participate. It is just a test though, there are no actual giveaways today. We're just going to be testing the mechanics of it to make sure I understand how it works, because apparently it's the one that a lot of Twitch streamers use. I think it's similar to the one that even Carbine uses. It goes by keywords, where the person, the people that are wanting to enter the drawing have to enter a keyword, and um, then after so many seconds, I guess I can pick a winner from those that have entered or something like that. And obviously, I'm going to be focusing on those that are actual followers, but I don't know how that works exactly. I don't think there's an actual filter for that, but we'll see how it goes. And hopefully, it will work smoothly, and everyone will be happy with how it works and everything. Um, In the meantime, I just want to make a reminder, Arcterra is live, but there have been some issues. When it went live the first day, there was the issue with the bank slots, like the very last bank slot that you had, even if you had just the usual and you didn't purchase any extras, or if you purchased extras, the last one you purchased or the last one you had disappeared. So you were like one bank slot short. Um, and anything you had in that bag, that slot, was mailed back to you. They have since fixed that. Um, in my case, the bag that I had in the slot disappeared, so now I'm having to wait until I get a hold of another bag to put in its place before I can put everything back in. But that is fixed. I can confirm that because we checked it yesterday evening, my husband and I. But there is another hotfix coming in today. I just noticed the announcement that they said that it's going to hit around 4 a.m. PDT time, which is about 1 p.m. European time. I think it's mostly to do with some of the rating stuff. There is some world boss thing. Apparently, I don't know how it worked before, but I guess the radius as far as the distance between you and the world boss, if it went down, and I guess if you had, maybe touched it and you'd like respawn because you died and you were running back, you'll have to now be within, I think it's 64 yards or something, to get credit for the kill if you participated in it. Let's see, the other thing was, I can't remember what it was. That's what it was is I think the reputation rewards for the challenges in Arcterra, they're going to lower those. So if you're really pushing to get your reputation up with the new faction there, I suggest use this time to your advantage and do as many challenges as you can. I think I've only unlocked maybe like 3 or 4, so I don't know how handy that is. I really don't know how many there are actually in the whole entire zone, because sometimes you get confused with the challenges and the little events that they have that kind of have the same feel. But yeah, take advantage of the higher reputation rewards right now because apparently they're going to be lowering those. Anywho, today I think we will just be tinkering around with the painting again, the landscape that we were working on the last couple of episodes. Um, I don't know exactly. I've kind of just been throwing things up on it to see how it looks. Maybe I have a favorite type of rock or something. Uh, and just I have a preference, or do I like it that it's the darker stones in the back and then it gets lighter as it comes forward, or should I switch it and have the darker stones in the front and then have it get lighter as it goes back? Because with a lot of the stones we have, like the obsidian and stuff, there's not like there's different shades of those. There's only one shade of obsidian rock. While we do have the sandstone and the gray stone, and you can see we have a little bit of a darker stone kind of thing, well, that we made out of books, but it's not as easy to kind of get your different shades that you want. Good morning, Maddie. Glad you could join us. So I don't know how that really plays off well, if it's suitable for this. One thing I did notice is the further out I go, which if I play at my usual distance, I can't see the lighthouse. That kind of bugs me. So I may end up making it bigger and bring it maybe uh, have another little bit of land coming out here and bring it forward a bit to make it larger, or just make it bigger, period. Because that really does kind of bug me on the size there. I'm gonna see how big I can make it without really kind of messing it up. It's the only, like the biggest kind of, I guess, fuss about the paintings when you're using items. I mean, all of the rocks and the water and everything stays, but that the cups, they just kind of want to. I may end up having to use something else other than the cups, maybe. I just liked it because the cups are actually kind of, what do you call it? It goes from like wide to narrow on its own. I kind of liked that, so don't want to make it like too big. A little better, not by a lot though. I may just have to see if I can find something else that'll work similarly without it just feels too big for that distance now. Maybe if I bring out a little peninsula of land and put it closer to the front. Soda cups, maybe I could try that. I'm gonna go ahead and see about putting this in though, now that I've started it. Now let's leave it like that for now. Let me see the soda cups. I don't know if I have any extras or not. I do. Probably leftovers from the candy cane for Christmas. Let's turn it so the straw doesn't show. It's number 1. Up to the side so we can see a little better. Certainly taller. I'll join those up. A little overlappy, I guess. Yeah, they work much better. It's a good idea, Maddie. That there. Just the very top one. If you go out really far, it kind of, but about right there, that's a good distance, I think. Now, obviously, a lot of players like to still play pretty up close, so they won't notice that. But for me, I tend to pull that out. Yeah, that works good. Maddie saves the day. Make sure I don't delete the wrong thing there. Trying to select there we go. Just to get that all together in case I want to move it from where it is. Yeah, I think that looks all right. I still kind of like this extra little bit of ground though coming in. Just kind of breaks up a little bit of this wide space there. I don't know if I really want to do anything in the back. You know, you could add clouds and things. A lot of people like doing that. You could add some birds, like maybe some seagulls or something, or I don't know what kind of birds. Something along those lines. And just since I've already got some dark bits here, I'm going to add some more over on this side, just to kind of make it the same. like I think of the paintings as kind of like patchworking. You just kind of tinker until it feels like it's supposed to. I don't know. I know some other players, Annie and Flower, and a couple of others have been working on some paintings of their own and coming up with some interesting results. But it's funny how even the paintings, uh, they all kind of have their own little styles, which is fun and interesting. You know, just it's just like with the building. Um, you can go into a building and maybe sometimes say, this kind of looks like something such and such would make. I think that's fun that we can have our, you know, our personalities kind of show through. Okay, so there we have a little bit more variety there. I think I want something else there. I'm not sure. Try another one of those. Feels like it's missing something. Don't want to go too much. Oops. Because then it gets a little too busy, I think. But kind of like that, how that's coming out. For just ideas, if you want to do something similar, you could add a boat here. You could even add a plane or something if you want. If you want to do birds, seagulls, I guess, would be white. Other birds would be darker. Uh, for the white ones, you could probably get away with using just the wave stuff. But since I already have like wave caps in here, I don't want to do the white up in here because then it might look like it's the same thing. So it might be a little off. So if I was going to do a bird, I'd probably do one that's dark. And let's see, how do we want to do that? I usually keep my little birdies simple. Oops. Because if you get kind of really when I do the paintings, when I do mine, I don't go for a whole lot of detail. It's like even with the ballerina and stuff, her face, you know, she doesn't have any eyes or mouth or anything like that. Uh, because I think you get kind of lost in those details and it might not work really well. Because again, a lot of items, as you saw with like the Chula cup and stuff, even though it was at a decent size, it still disappeared. And the little details are tend to be those that kind of disappear and stuff. So if you really can get away with as less, as minimum of detail as you can, and still have it look like what you want it to look like, then I would just leave it at that, not go overboard with everything else. And to cover that up a little bit. If you want multiple birds, then you might want to like make them so that some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger, that kind of thing. Again, I'm using the same stuff that I used for the mountains to make the birds. You don't have to. You can use brighter colors if you want a colored bird, but usually I think it's more like they're either black or white. Don't want them exactly same, so I'm gonna something like that. It almost look like bats now. Hey, Poi, glad you could join us. So I guess we got a few people in the chat. I want to test this out and see how it works, what it looks like. All right, Poi. But I really need to test the mechanics of this giveaway thing. Now, just a reminder, there is no actual giveaway today. This is just a test for me to make sure everything is in working order. Um, I'm trying to set it up so that it works by keyword. So we're just gonna uh, let's just use the keyword test, all lowercase, and see, just type it just by itself just one time and see if anything happens. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. I assume like a list of people will show up on the left or something. But if you can type in the word test, T-E-S-T, and nothing else and see if that works. In the meantime, we will doodle around some more with this. You could put like a little camp here if you wanted, maybe a tent and some fire. If you wanted to extend the sandy part of the dirt, you could probably do that. Um, you could probably actually use something like, oh yeah, that works pretty good. So yeah, your names like pop up on a list, and yeah, it's pretty okay. Okay, so I'm gonna see how this roll thing works to see. Wow, that just kind of went boink. Okay, so it lets you know, boy won the first test. It lets you know that they're following or whatever, so that's handy. Yeah, that works good. Okay, so then if I go back and then reset it, and then that, okay. Okay, so that works pretty good. That, I'm learning the controls. It looks like it's relatively user-friendly, so that's handy. I can also do it by active members. I guess that active, they mean like people that have posted something in the chat within the last 15 minutes, but I think keyword is better. It just keeps people kind of engaged, I think, a little bit better. Yeah, you get a virtual hug from me, boy. But yeah, I think that'll work really good. So thanks, guys, for just letting me check and see how that looks. Um, uh, it makes me nervous when I kind of fiddle with software and hardware and all that, because usually I'm like the worst if it comes to any kind of mechanical, electrical. computer stuff. If I touch it, it goes boom. Because I don't know, I have bad luck with that stuff. Because usually it's my husband that has to do all of the like loading the programs and making sure everything's running right. All I do is I hit a button and everything comes on, and from there it's like, no, I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, it's good to know that how it looks and everything, because it actually, as you put in the keyword, then you show up on a list of eligible folks, and then I hit roll, and it does this little thinky thing, and then it shows up who it is, and that works nicely. So, and I guess probably the easiest way is I will just keep a list, a running list of who the winners are and what they win, because I think it would be too time consuming if I stopped to message every individual, because I've got tons of codes to pass out, and um, I'm in the works of getting another piano from Flower. I already have one piano set that I intend to give away. I may give away the same set a couple of times, but I also have another one that she's given me. And I think Katya was in the process of setting up some furniture stuff for me, but I haven't heard back from her on that. And of course, I'm still fingers crossed that Carbine comes through and passes along some actual physical goodies that I might be able to mail out to folks. But that's why I didn't give any kind of specifics on the thread that I posted about the announcement, because I'm really unsure if that's going to come through or not. Oh, that's okay, boy. I don't know what's up with the chat and stuff freezing and everything. I've had it do that to me when I'm watching Carbine stream, which they're supposed to do one today. If you're interested in that, um, it's usually at the time that my guild decides to go raiding, so most of them kind of miss out on it. But for those of you that don't have any other plans this evening, I think they're going to be doing a stream, an Arctera thing. Sometimes they do giveaways on that. I don't know if they plan on doing that today, but sometimes they do. Anyway, we were talking about the sand. We already kind of played around with a little bit of sand here, but I figured I've been using this cardboard box to kind of cover up my unfinished work here. But you could probably um, yeah, use that as like a really big wad of sand. Granted, it's going to cover up some of the stuff we've been working on, but just to get an idea of the coloring and how it works and how it looks. Granted, I'll probably have to turn that a little bit more because it's a little big. But if you don't have the limitations like I do with mine, as far as the size of the thing, that might work really nice. In fact, we might go ahead and go with that. What we'll do is we're gonna push that out here, and let's what was covered up mostly. Let's just move some of this stuff out of the way. When you're doing these little projects like this, don't be afraid to rearrange and just tinker around with it. It doesn't have to be the same. Nothing's set in stone. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say is you can always tweak it later. For me, that's part of the fun anyway. Oh, strangely, you can just the slightest little bit, and it just changes it all up. Now notice there's a little bit of gappage there. If I want, I could try and bring that a little bit so it's perfectly right to the edge. I have to be mindful of the bottom though, so let's see. So there's some nice bit of like dirt kind of stuff going on. Makes the lake part a little bit more narrow, but that's okay. Let's shrink this a little bit, or maybe not that much. A little better. You don't want it the same size as this. That's the main thing. Excuse me. You'll be happy to know I did go to the doctor yesterday. Told her all my ailments. It was like a list a mile long of everything that I've been experiencing, and she's like, well, something about I have a virus in the trachea or something, and that's what's causing a lot of the other issues, and there's not much she can do about it because there's nothing they can give for it. But for the nausea and stuff, she's given me some things, and I'm taking some probiotics or something to kind of help ease the stomach issues. So yeah, I've got, again, my desk is like a pharmacy. My husband says he doesn't understand how I've lived this long with all the problems I have. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things that are really puny, and it just happens that if I get sick, I get sick the worst. Now I'm going to try and keep most of the stuff on the sandy part. I don't want it overlapping too much. I don't mind it doing it in some places just to kind of give a little extra depth, but don't want to do that for everything, I think. So now I'm just bringing in all of the elements we removed and seeing if I can put them in new, interesting places. See how they work, how they look. It may look totally different than what I had before, but that's okay. All right, Poi, thanks for joining and helping me test out the thing. And I hope it gets sorted before the big day so that you don't have any issues. I'll catch you later. Let's see. Just adding in some stuffs. That actually looks pretty good there. Sure, it's not sticking out the bottom, which it is. Let's see. And this we had down there. I'm gonna see if it looks too weird. I think it's just gonna look odd, so we're gonna send that to crate. I don't think I want that. This was another patch of dirt we tried. I don't think it's gonna work for anything. Maybe some rocks, weird rocks. Always got to be mindful of your frame there. Make sure nothing weird is sticking out. Don't necessarily like it sitting right on the see if we can. But I like how we've been able to use a really big variety of items for different kinds of stone colors and looks. This will be a good reference kind of painting, even if it's not exactly true to form as far as like the light coloring for those in the back, and as you move forward it gets darker and that kind of thing. Still think it'll be a fun deal. Maybe just a bit. Now, the dirt, again, I don't like true solids when I do these things. I like the texture, so I want to find a way of breaking that brown up. Because for whatever reason, the part that I used, the box, is pretty solid where it is, so I'm going to change that a little bit if I can. I'm breaking it up a little bit with these stones, but I think I want something a little more than that, so keep hitting the wrong one. So something maybe a little lighter tan would work good. I'm going to duplicate this real quick and see if I switch the sides, if that would look a little better. Does the lighter sand work for you guys or the darker? I think the lighter looks a little better. Yeah, I think I like the lighter one. So let's try and get this matched up a little better. Move this one out. That looks really weird without the sand, doesn't it? Right about there. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. It really makes these dark rocks pop. I think we're gonna make these birds a little smaller as well. I can join them without messing them up. But I was gonna make it smaller and it turned out bigger. But for crying out loud. There we go. And then this one, I think I already have it paired up. Let's just one little nudge and it's like, eh. That looks a little better. I think they were a little too huge. Yeah, I think the lighter one works really well. Looks more sandy. I'm gonna move this, I think, or size it down a little bit. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. I mean, the general idea is there. It gives folks some, again, good examples of different things that you can use for the stones. I mean, we've gone from the bulletin board to the bottom of a thorny bulb tree. These are books, obsidian stones, the taurine head statue, fence posts. So there's a huge variety of items that folks will uh, take into consideration when they're looking for rocky items. Hey, Maximus. But yeah, I think that gives it. I see there's a shrine, Pell Shrine, so lots of variety there. And while it maybe doesn't unify the whole thing, like if I'm going for strictly a desert theme or something like that, I like that it gives a little extra. Again, it's a variety kind of thing going on. Push this over that way, I think. See, I'm getting to the point where I'm like just tweaking things just for the heck of it. Gonna get myself into trouble. I'm gonna like really mess it up or something. I don't know. Probably not it, or maybe it's too much water caps or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not enough, or they're turned funny or something. Could be any number of stuff. But yeah. Are you on NA though, Maximus? That would pose a problem for me because I don't have an NA account. I think if you're on NA side, there used to be, was it Yardcore Nexus? I think they were based for NA. and trying to think who else. There was another one that was going to start up. I think they were NA as well, but I can't recall the name. Um, and of course, Nelia, her project kind of went on the wayside because of her employment, but she was willing to do some NA stuff. I really don't know if there's a solid, consistent streamer or anything of videos. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, I can't tour your place if it's on NA. The only way that that's possible is usually if there's like a PTR going on, and like Adelon, he's NA, and uh, he just transferred his onto the PTR, and I was able to go visit it then. It's usually the only way I can get access to the NA places. So yeah, no, I've kind of limited myself almost purposefully to just EU side because in the past there was way more attention on the NA side because just generally the population is bigger there and there was a lot more community stuff going on, including a lot of videos and such. And I think I'm one of the few EUers that really focus on just the tour sides of things. So I kind of just want to keep my attention on them. I've had several ask for me to pop a character over on there, and I may eventually, but that's not anything that I foresee in the near future because one, I'm just too lazy. I mean, it took me forever just to get a Dominion side character up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't really see anybody doing that for me just for that. Um, but maybe I don't know. Maybe if enough people poke me about it, I think you're about the third or fourth that have specifically requested me to get on NA side. It's just like I said, I've been so dedicated to the EU side for so long. I guess it's kind of hard for me to break the habit. But maybe I could do, eventually, if I one day decide to start up an NA account, instead of alternating between the factions each week, I could alternate between the regions or something like that. That might be interesting. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. No promises. I appreciate the request, though. Like I said, that would be something to suggest on my Twitch thread, the one that's got the 50th episode celebration announcement. That would be something people could suggest. If enough really want it, then I might be more inclined to extend the effort out, even if it meant me leveling up to 14 if I didn't have a jump starter pack. But yeah. Um, Which reminds me, Poi's not here, but I was really appreciative of the listing that Poi gave of some of their favorites. I can't believe they're actually going through all of the archived videos. I think they said they made it to September. And so I appreciate all the hard work folks are putting in, and as far as checking through the older videos to see which ones they want to nominate for the 50th episode. But slowly but surely, we're getting a few more suggestions, so that's nice. I appreciate that. It will make my job easier because I don't want it to be a show about my favorites. I want it to be a show about your guys' favorites. So I can't do that unless I hear back from you. So, so Maddie and everybody else that typically watches these, be sure and let me know what ones you're interested in seeing again. And hopefully most of those that are suggested still exist. I'm sure there are plenty of them that are, or they've been added to. I know of a few that have expanded their plots since the last time I toured them. And then there's like plots that still exist from like when we had the 300 decor limit. So I'm sure a lot of them will be available. So hopefully it'll be a good show. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. I got some things I need to take care of and everything, but I hope you guys have enjoyed. Not sure if I'm going to consider this finished. For right now, I kind of just like the way it looks as it is. We'll call it um, the rock painting because that's basically what it's showcasing is all the different kinds of rocks that you could use, different kinds of decor to get those rock looks and different shapes and colors and things. But probably next week we'll see about sorting out, finishing off the ballerina that I'm working on. I think I'm just going to call her the ballerina itself done, but I need to work on some kind of a framing. I'm not sure if I really like the gray anymore. So we might find, excuse me, some special way to kind of show her off a little better. In the meantime, again, just a reminder that this afternoon there will be a hotfix going out to cover some of the issues that folks that have been playing in the Arcterra zone have been experiencing. They're changing a few things like the reputation rewards for challenges. They're going to lower that. They're changing the distance that you have to be from the bosses to be able to claim the rewards from them if you've tagged it, I guess. So be mindful of those and be aware that that is coming. It's 4 a.m. PDT time, which is, I believe, 1 p.m. CET time. So this afternoon for us. And hopefully that's, no other hidden little Twinkie doos or whatever. I will mention too, again, Esper's Arcterra decor thread. It is linked on my Twitch channel page in the resources section right at the bottom. They've been putting together a pretty comprehensive listing of all of the new decor that is available with this Arcterra release, and that includes those from Madame Faye, those from the housing vendor, the reputation vendor, random world drops, the ones from the fab kits. So be sure and check that out. If there's anything that you've gotten a hold of that isn't on the list yet, be sure to share that so that they can, flesh out their listing. It's a really good resource. I'll probably keep it linked for quite a while, just like I did with the other changes that we've had in the past. Because when you're looking for something, even though they don't give like actual previews of what the items look like, at least then you know what names to kind of search on the auction house, because the majority of things listed are BOE, so that means that they're tradable, and so you're bound to find a lot of them on there. The only things I think it's really missing at the moment, and I've seen a few people talk about picking up some of the items, is there is some new Macari decor that has been floating around. I saw someone in my housing circle, they got, I think it was a lamp. I don't remember the name offhand, but it was some kind of a Macari lamp thing. I didn't even get a good look at it. And I've heard a few other people getting some Macari decor. So hopefully once Katia has the KBT add-on updated so that we can do our little aggregation searches and stuff, you can just look up Macari and it'll list everything that's currently available on the auction house and stuff. I could probably go through the shopper real quick, which, well, let me just see. Let me call that up so that you guys can know that it's actually in there. It's just, I may actually have to do a scan for this. I'm not sure. Let's just do a real quick scan. The scan I usually do, you should do after every little patch thing because there's a lot of things that pop up that, maybe doesn't catch right away. But yeah, there's tons, literally tons of new decor, and it's not just winter type. I think a lot of people were worried with that most of the decor that was coming in was going to be all icy and snow related, and while a good many of them are, there's still like for the Far Trader fab kit, the vendor there sells like the sandwich which I've been begging for a while because we have so little food items. There's the sandwich. There's like the little mat. You can get it either the flat version or the rolled up version. There's a lot of new trees and bushes. Um, like the mossy overgrowth and the mossy hollow log and some metal bits like the great piece that we looked at on the PTR sneak peek. There's lots of things that I think folks will be really keen on using in interesting ways that doesn't have anything to do with winter. Granted, I anticipate we'll be seeing a lot more wintry type plots because of all of the ice and snowy stuff. I think there's a fab kit available on the cash shop that has like a snow castle kind of fab kit thing, and and of course you got like the decor with the Pumera frozen in the cube of ice and all of the snow NPCs with their little cats and things, but yeah, I'm sure we'll find other ways to kind of use those things. I think some of the decor I've been picking up is I've been getting a lot of the bones, um, like the skulls and things, the jaws and stuff like that. And it's just, you know, Macari. God, I can't spell worth a flip. Yeah, the crystal lamp. This is the one that a fellow builder got. It's kind of weird looking that it twitches like it does, being a lamp, but even though it's kind of weird looking, I'm sure someone can figure out some interesting way to use it other than a lamp. But I think it's interesting. Here's another a pillar. Look how crazy that looks. I don't know if they have any kind of sound effects. Here's their tactical table. I don't know what it looks like on top, but look at the little animation there, how wicked that looks. And maybe you could sync that in and just have the symbols showing somewhere. It'd be a shame to sync this whole thing in because it's so pretty, but here's the stool. Look at that little animation there. It almost looks like a crown. It's really spiky. It doesn't look like a very comfortable seat. There's the chair. Looks like a throne. See a lot of people having fun with that. So yeah, there's some bits. I don't know if this is all of it. I guess it is. You can see there's a lot of NPCs as well that are listed, but should be fun. Should be fun. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it good. And I hope you guys enjoyed what little bit we saw here. Again, thank you guys for helping me test out the giveaway mechanic thingy. I think I've got a good fix on how it works and should be good to go for the 20th. Again, reminder, patch incoming this afternoon, evening, morning, however it is for you. And have a great weekend, you guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.